What's up, guys? Devin, Zander here. Welcome to the Product of the Week Club video. Each week on Monday, we release a new video where we break down a winning product. We break down how the product could be improved, how the store could make more money, increase AOV, and things like that. And then we walk you through the process of launching an ad for that product. So basically, every single week, we're just going over winning products and showing you how people make money with these products. You could too. Man, I'm short of breath. I ate too much pizza, Matt. Oh my God. I only had 2 slices. It was
It's so much pizza. How dare you?
So, I know. Anyways, for those of you who are watching, if you want to sign up for the Product of the Week Club, there should be a form below this video. Fill that bad boy out, enter your name, phone number, and email address, and we'll email you these bad boys every week so you have a constant stream of winning products you can sell and they know how to sell them. So, Matt doesn't know what these products are ahead of time, so everything is off the cuff for this guy. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and let's get into this week's product. So, Matt, I thought I would do all of our Jewelry Profits customers a favor, and we will be covering a jewelry product today. Boom. So now sharing. So this product right here, it looked like ads ran for about 9 months on it.
Wow.
I don't think they're running anymore. Let me see. Newest. So we're still getting comments on it like every few days here. So maybe ads are still running. Look at this. How about fuck no, proper garden tools don't get anything? I have no idea what that means. Oh, I think maybe it means like a hoe, proper hose, proper, I don't know.
Oh, I got you, man.
Doesn't matter. So this product was running for a while. Don't know how much in sales it's done, but it's a market we know a lot about. So Matt, first impressions, man. Let me pause this so you can see the product here, and let's get into it.
Well, this is what my first impression is bravo, because this is one of the spaces that we tell a lot of our incubator students to get into, which is a more evergreen jewelry space, right? The big question everybody has is, how do I sell jewelry every single day? It seems it's super easy and logical to sell it around, say, like Mother's Day and stuff like that. But how do I do it every single day? And it's this right here. One of the examples is this right here, because guys are out there hurting their loved ones, unfortunately, all the time. There's always an argument going on. And if you have the right product, you can catch those people at any moment needing this product, right? And so that's the first thing. So sorry for hurting you, my love. This is what I would call the apology niche, which is an absolute winner if you can tap into it. The second thing is creative video. I don't think I've ever seen a video so simple and so easy.
Zooming in slowly.
It's just zooming in slowly, which I believe it is a Shine On mock-up too.
Yeah,
because I think
shipping from Florida, so I would assume it's
So, Gear Bubble's out of Florida now too. So, Florida is the place to be. So,
I already knew that.
But the product looks, they have a couple of that compete with each other, but that looks like Shine On. But simple zoom. One of the things to pay attention to here, the reason that I think it did so well, video obviously is powerful when used correctly, but I see a lot of people screw it up, right? Video is kind of hard for something like this because you need people to read it. So if you're doing the stuff where the box is moving and you're zoomed out, you're too far, you're trying to be creative, it's too much, right? So it actually kind of makes it easier to read it as it's moving closer to the camera, right? And then the one thing that I absolutely love that I see way too many people screw up is the bolding of the words, right? It seems simple, like something you would gloss over. However, you can get a lot of this. A lot out of just reading the bolded words. Where's my eye going to go? It's probably going to go to, I'm truly sorry. I love you. Forgive me. And if I'm a person that's in
message.
Exactly. So like, and then 1,000 apologies. Yeah. But the first thing I saw when you opened it up was, I'm truly sorry. I love you. Forgive me. When you have a lot of text, that's where a lot of people lose some people. My best-selling designs have bolded words in them. I tell people to do this all the time because you only have so much attention with people. And so if you can at least capture some emotion in like 3 words, 4 words, 5 words, then you have them, and then they'll read the rest of it if they're interested, or if they're in that space, right? And it makes it super easy. So there's a lot going on right with this. It's not a big surprise that this one did well. But yeah, we can dive further into it in anywhere you want to. Yeah.
I like what you said there too about the bolded stuff, because I write a lot of sales pages and stuff like that for like direct response marketing campaigns, and you have headlines with that, and it's the same concept. The bold text here and like the headlines on a sales page, they need to tell a story, even if it's just skimmed, right? So if you guys take away anything from this bolded stuff, it's that it makes sense even if you don't read the rest of it. If someone just reads the bolded aspects, 1,000 apologies, I'm truly sorry, I love you, forgive me. That's like the entire message of the product right there, just in the bold products. Even if they don't read the rest, they know exactly what this is. And I like this part too up here where she cried reading this. I don't know if you do this in a lot of your ads, Matt. I've definitely seen you do it in a few of your ads. But it's kind of emotional. You see it a lot in like clickbait YouTube videos or clickbait, like Facebook stuff or anything like that. Like, you won't believe what happened. She cried reading this and stuff like that. So kind of like cheesy, because it could get you a lot of people who actually aren't interested in your product. But if the product's good and it has a broad enough appeal, then it's good. But you want to be careful, because it could just drive your ad costs up as well, because it could get a lot of clicks but no purchases, because it just makes a lot of people interested.
And check your mic when you got a second. But also, I think you have a great point there, because this is one of those things where she cried reading this. If I did have one, the more you think about that, she cried reading this. Okay, that could draw, and somebody could even click, and it could be a wasted click and things like that. But that's 100% right. I would probably replace that more with like, tell her how sorry you are or something like that. That's more direct. She cried reading this. I would leave something like that to situational. That's far too broad. It could be her birthday. They could be in a great state. She cried and read it on her birthday. Or such like Mother's Day. I have a couple with Mother's Day that are saying that right now, because I tie it to Mother's Day. And so it's logical in the sense that, it streams through. If it's broad and it can stray outside of that, and I get a wasted click, just as Devin said, actually is somewhat detrimental to the whole thing, for sure. That's a good point.
Does my mic sound okay? Hello?
Now it's better, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Okay. So real quick, I know we're going to rewrite this ad at the end, but I'm just curious if there's anything that you would change right away, like right here with the headline. Obviously they're not following the patented CIC method, so they're not a customer of ours. Silly billies.
Yeah. I am not a big fan of the whole 50% off. I would rather be full priced and occasionally give a discount. Guys, I'll give you a little secret. You're probably not the first necklace that this guy's put in somebody's newsfeed, that he's got in his newsfeed. You're probably not the third or the fourth or the fifth or even the sixth, maybe not even the 20th. It's been going, Shine On successful. They've been going for a while, and there's a lot of sellers right now. And you're saying that you're $120 in a scenario where the guy might have bought one for $60, where the guy said it was full price. So I think people, you gotta, yes, the customer has a short attention span, but the customer also, when it comes down to it, not stupid. We kid and everything like that, but the customer knows this 50% off thing is a little scammy. I've had conversations with some certain people about like removing that as a baseline. And look, retail price, and then if you want to offer a discount, get something out of it. Like what I do is it's a value exchange. So if they come to my site, I'll give you 20% off if you give me your email, right? Or I'll give you 10% off if you give me my email or your email. I'll give you even more if you give me your SMS, just because SMS crushes, right? But just blatantly 50% off gives you a perception of, and Devin, you can attest to this too. Like, I don't want to buy something for my wife that's 50% off because there's a reason there's a reason there's 50% off. And I thought
I was just going to say, it reminds me of when you're walking down the street and you see a going out of business sale. Does that make you want to shop there? You're like, no, that place probably sucks. What the fuck? You're going out of business. No, it's actually sad. It's not funny that stores go out of business, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't scream like, yes, I want, like, especially like if you're saying sorry to your wife, you want to get her something nice. All right.
Yeah. That's a great point.
If you give her a cheap piece of junk, she's going to be like, really? You're sorry? I mean, gentlemen out there, come on. Look, I'm married. Matt's married. We know that women don't want no cheap, I'm sorry, okay?
Yeah. Don't play that game. It won't help. It won't help.
Especially if you messed up this bad. If you messed up so bad to like where you had to buy a necklace to say sorry, you know? I've never been so deep in the shit that I had to buy my wife something like this to say I was sorry. Like I'll get her like a card maybe or something in flowers and be like, I'm sorry, babe. I know I'm annoying and act like a 5-year-old, but like, 50 hey, you who messed up, like buy your wife this really cheap product. And it kind of reminds me of just like the She Cried reading this. These are two things that the seller might have thought were like advantageous that could actually be detrimental to the ad. So She Cried reading this is going to attract like a lot of clickbait from people who actually don't resonate. And then the get 50% off, I mean, it just makes your product seem cheap, you know, like I think that the industry as a standard is moving further and further away from compare at prices, you know, and not wanting to do that as much.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of it. I rather, like I said, value, you know, stand firm, but it's a $60 piece of jewelry, right? That's a fair price for this. I think there's plenty of people, but that would buy it for $60 with no discount and more than enough to make you this viral or even more. The problem is I think people feel like they have to do this discount just for the fact that people are that's the only way they're going to buy it. Well, if that's the only way they're going to buy it, then you didn't create a good enough product. And you should work on a design that could, I guarantee you, this is a good product that people would buy it all the same for that 60% off. And if you're not even discounting further from this, then you're doing 20% off of the 50% off price. Then you have the perception of like, damn, dude, this dude's just ripping people off. Like he's got he's been selling this for $120 and you can easily operate out of 50% off. This is bullshit. So it's just like gets into scammy. I don't like it. It might be a great way to sell this necklace, but it's a terrible way to sell a brand and grow a brand.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking too, Matt. It's like when you do things like this and you do 50% off and then an extra 20% off, I'm sure that there's probably like a coupon
somewhere. I'm sure.
Yeah. Right here. 25% off your first order. So
Jesus.
50% off here and then 25% off. Right. And you're playing your short-term thinking because people buy from brands that they like, that they think are high value, they're good products, like you get good products for the value and what you paid and stuff. And this just doesn't scream like long-term customer equity to me when you discount like this, you know? So if you want, like, if you're thinking long-term, I don't know about those watching, but like our goals when we build businesses isn't to make money for like 2 or 3 months, right? It's to make money year over year over year over year until we have millions of dollars and we feel like we're done, you know? And to us, that's tens of millions of dollars sitting in the bank or invested into things. And you're not going to achieve that with these quick, like 50%, like when you have to try this hard to sell, and it works, okay? It does work, but it's just not a good long-term strategy. And it actually works less and less as the market becomes more aware of the things that are happening. But it's just like Matt was saying, it really comes down to having a good brand, which is so important. Nobody wants to do it because it's work. But if you can do it, it's going to make you way more money than ads, way more money than anything else. Obviously, ads will still be an aspect of it, but having that brand makes it so much easier. And then just having products that people like, which is also part of your brand, is that your people align with your products. They don't view themselves as like a a skateboarder. They view them, this is the worst example, a skateboarder that skates zero decks, you know, like Zero is a skateboard brand. I have no idea why I went there. But like a lot of people view themselves like they only wear certain workout clothes, right? They don't just go to the gym. They go to the gym and wear Under Armour. And that's like Matt. That's what he does. Or Lululemon sometimes too, because Matt's bougie as fuck, but you know, whatever. I wear 10,000. That's the workout gear I wear, 10,000.
I'm all first form, baby.
People align with your brand. That's what's up. See, I can support that. I want to buy first form too, but the shipping to Florida is like $20, dude.
Just load me up and I'll bring it down with next time. So
okay, got it. Okay,
got a whole
back on
suitcase
topic.
for you.
Sorry, guys. All right, so if you want, we can kind of like get into the store here. I'd actually like to talk about the description. That's I
really hate the product title though. Let's go back up to the product title. I really hate the product title. I didn't see that at first, and then I know I saw it, and I need to address it. It's an on-demand product, man. Like almost gone. It's almost gone. Is it really almost gone? Like, come on.
Again, that's short-term thinking.
Short-term thinking. And then I'm not sure what the number is at the end of it, but guys, like, it doesn't take a whole lot. This is stuff that I wish that I knew, you know, like I understand where this position is because we used to act like this, and you're trying to make your first sale and stuff like that. But all the effort that you're put into, like, how do I trick people in a sense to buying this? All that effort that you're putting in there, the same amount of effort is all that is required, maybe even less, to grow your brand in the right way. Because I want to tell you a secret. Somebody I was helping earlier today. I'll tell you a secret. When you do it right, the way that we teach it, and saying, I'm going to title my stuff correctly, they're going to know my name, they're going to know to look for me. You're going to start doing things in a way where one click becomes possibly 3 or 4 clicks. And I'll tell you exactly how. Instead of almost gone, I'm not like, they're not going to look anywhere other than the store for your product and either like it or don't. Yeah. What happens on my product? People go from my store to Google or Amazon. They're going to go to Google to find me, to validate that I'm a real business, right? They're going to see that I'm a real business and they're going to come back to buy me, or they're going to go to Amazon to see if they can get a deal on my product. And if they can, they're going to buy it there and possibly get it delivered faster or whatever they're getting there for. Those things happen because I do the right stuff right away. So you grow in a way. I'm not saying you have to get on yourself on Amazon or Google, but I am saying that effort is required at the beginning, and it's a whole lot easier to do that than to figure out the next trick where all your products are 50% off with a 25% off coupon. They're almost gone. They got some weird number in it. Like your ad was good, your product was good, but you just deviated away in this weird, I gotta trick these people into buying my stuff. Where if you just put the effort into the brand, the legitimacy of your business and the product itself, the selling is secondary. And you're doing all the work trying to sell instead of focusing on the right stuff to make people trust you and believe in you and think this is a good product versus all this other stuff over here. And it's way better, way longer term. I exited from my company. I just got a valuation back on another one of my companies that I grew after that. You make a lot of money of course, you can make a lot of money in the store, but you're disregarding the entire asset of your business here with this kind of model. I exited from my company for a multiple of my income, not just like some cash flow of that day. You're in the cash flow of the day where you could be doing the exit idea with the same effort. So I know it's hard when you got to pay bills and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, this is a one-hit wonder kind of mentality. You're praying for a one-hit wonder versus building a brand that could make you that income that you're looking to replace or whatever it is. You could easily step into that area with the same effort and possibly less, to be honest with you.
The thing too is people don't realize is they do this because they think it's easier, right? Because it's easier because you're tricking people to buy from you. That's really what you're doing. When you say almost gone, you are trying to trick someone because the product is not almost gone, right? And it's actually harder this way right here. The people do this almost gone stuff and the 50% discount because they think it's easier. It might be easier to get one sale, But if your goal is to become wealthy, this model is extremely difficult because every single day you're starting over because people don't buy from you again when you operate your business this way, which means that eventually, like, okay, so you, like, that's the beauty of your business, Matt, right? Is you have, like, I'll look at the returning customer rate, like any given month, it's like 45% of your purchases are people buying a second time. And if we look at something like this store, I would just guess, I could be wrong, by the way, but I'm pretty sure the returning customer rate is probably under 10 or even under 5%. And it's just difficult to run a business this way. It's easy. It's easier up front to run it this way. But if your goal is long-term and you want to make money for a long time and you don't want to go back to like a day job if you're starting, or you don't want your business to fail if you're already up, like it's just not going to work this way. Exactly. It can, but you're going to have to start over every single day and rely on getting new customers every single day. And it's extremely stressful. It's basically a hamster wheel you can't get off of. And this right here, like this almost gone thing, there's a story about this that that everybody was taught when they were children. It's called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. How many times can you tell people that things are almost gone before they realize, like, oh, this person's just full of shit? You know what I'm saying? There's a reason that story exists, and that's the lesson they were trying to teach you, is that stuff like this, and it's not just in business, but in life, it's not a good long-term strategy for your relationships, your friendships, your business, any of that stuff. So, you know, if your goal is to make like a couple $1,000s and that's it, and then you have to go back to whatever else you were doing, then strategies like this can work. But if your goal is actual wealth and a life of abundance and all that stuff, which is why most of us get into business, then you got to take the harder route, which is building a brand. And it's only harder at the start. That's all.
Yep.
Like the first few months of it are harder. Maybe the first year of it is harder. After that, it's so much easier. Like Pause, the store that you acquired, dude, they're still making sales just organically without ads, just because of the brand.
Yeah.
Stores like this, they don't have that. They don't have that. I mean, Pause can make tens of thousands of dollars a month or hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just from the brand. And that is what people are choosing to ignore because they think it's harder, but they're wrong. It is the opposite. Sorry, I just talked in circles.
No, I know. I mean, I'm 100% of valid points and very valuable points there. That the simple, you could boil it down to, if I bought something and it said almost gone on it, I would never come back to that store because the mentality is that store is going out of business. 50% off, almost gone, it's out of business. Why would I ever come back to that store?
But
and that's a terrible way to run a business, it's gone. See you later.
We're still getting used to the two-person talking thing. So I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But what I was going to say too is, and it works in the opposite, is when people know that, you know, you're not doing fake scarcity and they actually know it's a real brand. And when you do see that low in stock thing, you're like, oh, fuck, I got to buy this right now. Like when it's real, you know, like when there's actual scarcity and people do align with your brand, you actually do sell out of products, and it's super effective. But people aren't like putting it in here like this, almost gone, because they don't need to, because they know that people like them. Like if you have something that's selling out, you don't have to put it like this because people are going to buy it anyways. And then you go to that, whatever, like the little variant selector. Oh, only one left in this size and this color. Dude, that happens to me all the time on 10,000. I have to, I get into fights with Patricia because every single year I want 10,000 shorts for Christmas because they do like special partnerships and stuff. And I know like this is a real brand and I know they're going to sell out really quick. So this past Christmas, they had Ryan Holiday shorts. And for those of you who don't know, like this tattoo, Ryan Holiday, this ring, Ryan Holiday, this necklace that I'm wearing, Ryan Holiday, the tattoo on my knee, Ryan Holiday. I love Ryan Holiday. So I asked my wife to get me these shorts for Christmas. And she's like, yeah, I'll get them. And I said, okay, can you get them right now? Because they're going to sell out. She's like, no, I'll get them when I get home. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to buy them myself. I just bought them myself. And I was like, babe, you can Venmo me for Christmas. I already bought them. But it's because like, and they didn't need to put almost gone because I just knew like if a product is good, the brand is good, you know about the brand, which is the goal, then people are going to buy your stuff right away anyways. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And sure enough, those shorts did sell out in like 20 minutes, by the way. So I'm really glad I bought them.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do sometimes, especially on those high demands. But yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, so we ragged on this a little bit. Like, and I think the most of the reason that I ragged, it's a good product. That's the thing. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, it's a good product. It's just how you're marketing that's bad. If you did some steps into the right direction, you'd be amazed how it's like frustrating for us as people who do this with incubator and our courses and stuff like that, where we educate people how to do this. I come from so what you're seeing is a place of like compassion, right? Or I'm saying like, dude, great product, obviously resonated with people. Obviously, the first thing I said was great job getting into a niche that I absolutely love selling jewelry into, that I think is underappreciated. However, some of this shit's got to go, right? And if you want to flip it, you have the skills of creating a product, create more product like this, keep it to this standard, flip the marketing strategies, and watch those recurring customers come in. Devin hit the nail on the head. We're taking pause from, it was, $20 million a year. Unfortunately, the last guy wasn't, I've spoken about this millions of times already now, but the guy before us didn't run it as well. So we're kind of picking it back up. And that's the coolest thing in the world to see, is just the fact that like every email we put out is gangbusters. Like it's the hottest cold site, because like the cold traffic converts well with it, but it's cold relative to the email days, because the email days are just fucking fire sales, because everybody loves the brand, they love the mission, everything like that. And you guys can tap into that kind of stuff too. And it's really not that hard. It's just the same amount of effort as this stuff. Stepping stones and thinking a little bit bigger. I mean, we're in the middle of having those conversations at SCUP too. And like constantly we need to have those conversations of, this is limiting yourself to thinking you only have the marketing skills of a guy that's a trickster a little bit. Let's be honest. You guys are capable of taking the stepping stones to put yourself into a brand positioning and see that outcome just by getting into it and just by taking the right steps now. Like you did with the product creation, right? So that's where we're coming from to see it. Seasonal sale
off everything. So yeah, I kind of wanted to take a look at the rest of the store and see what I think. And I want Zuli co-owner, if you're watching this, like everything we do say, like Matt says, comes from a place of compassion, but it's also like the uncomfortable truths. Sometimes you don't want to hear things because they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I was like 120 pounds overweight. No one told me, and I just wish someone would have. And it's like, obviously I knew I was overweight, but I don't know. It's just like hearing it from someone else and hearing that truth. A lot of times is what we need. And I always told myself that I will always have those uncomfortable conversations with friends from now on. So, again, like I think I'll leave this really to you, Matt, but there's no passion put into this website. It's like, why does this website exist, right? If I look at this page and I'm curious why it exists, all I have to go off are these images here, and I'm not really getting a lot from it, and just to like, we can give a look over here at pause to compare, but seasonal sale, right? Seasonal sale. Mother's literally second best holiday of the year right now is happening for jewelry, which is Mother's Day. Like we're looking at here. You have the mission, got categories that are not just so these are what daughter, soulmate, apology. It's kind of like all over the place, when this is just bestsellers, new arrivals, hats, a little bit of social proof, trending products, and bestsellers, But when you look at this too, you really get a good idea of what your brand stands for, right, Matt? Like, and why the store exists, who the target customer is, all these different things, right? As opposed to just 70% off, seasonal sale.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what that means, like seasonal sales, right? And then, by the way, like, how do they get this up to 70%? Like we just saw it was 50%, right? So then I'm going to be going looking.
You get the 25% down here. So now we got 75. They lied. It's 75% off.
Yeah. So it's like, again, saying what Devin said with maybe a little bit of a different way to say it is, I feel like this is box checking. You made a banner, you checked the box. You got a collections, check the box. That's baseline stuff, right? And it's not terrible in order to, like, if this store is like brand new, but we saw that your store is at least several weeks old, right? Months old. Yeah. So
this product launch this was in July, I believe. Yeah, July 17th.
Oh, shit. Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully everything's still going well for you. It popped up in Devin's newsfeed, but I think the main thing, the main part of this story is like a little bit of the effort, like it's obviously on your mind. You put To My Mom right here, unless that's just coincidence. So the seasonal sale, like a Mother's Day sale, focus on a big takeaway for that we're trying to implement, especially at Pause. Like everything you just saw at Pause is being recreated in the background right now because we didn't get a whole lot of the data, blah, blah, blah. It was a lot of its situations. I'm still gathering a lot of data, but what you're seeing at Pause is we're trying to focus on the why more than just the product itself. And you guys are selling jewelry in a moment of potentially somebody could cry, right? One of the incubator calls that we were talking about earlier, I was talking about, I was joking with them and said, if I can make my mom cry, if I can make an older Armenian woman cry, then I have created a unbelievable product that would be something that every mom would cry over, right? So, like, envision those kinds of scenarios, and it's not like I want her to cry, blah blah blah. Like, I want her to have that such an emotional memory, that emotion that's tied to the memory that's tied to the card that you made, which you had that product, right? That I'm sorry for hurting you is tied to the emotion of the hurt, right? And then you're overcoming it, and you're talking about how the things that we did together. I do truly love you. All the other stuff that's in that space where it's tied to the other memories where times were good, and we're going to get back to that, right? So if you can focus on that in the banners we have, and the easiest way to do that is smiling faces on a banner, and then direct them in organ. Yeah, like that's a moment. Every dog owner can be in that moment in your backyard or at the park, and they're tied into that moment of. It makes me think of throwing my first house. I was throwing my the dog toy with my dog, and he was such a huge dog that I accidentally threw it over the fence one time, and he jumped the fence. It was a 5-foot fence, and he just hopped it, right? And that's what I think about, because I can vocalize that. That's what I have to do for my job here, is like I vocalize those moments. But that's what that is bringing out of. That's good marketing, guys. That's what you're supposed to do, right? And that's what beer commercials do with nobody's drinking beer. It's everybody's smiling. That's why in car commercials, everybody's driving in some random location that no one ever drives in, because that's how we envision ourselves driving. Like my Jeep's going to be in this sand dune that I've never been to in my entire life, right? You're invoking emotion and memories and reactions from people. If you do the other side and you just check the box, you're not drawing any of that out. Seasonal sale doesn't do anything like that. Random pictures of events without context don't do any of that. No mission, no about us. Why are you creating this store? Why are you selling these things? What are you trying to get out of these scenarios? More than just transactional, right?
Makes the consumer feel like you just want money from them.
Yeah, exactly. You're just transactional. And you know what? I'm sorry, but Amazon's transactional, and that's going to get to me in like 24 seconds. So it's, where am I going to be transactional? If you guys want to succeed, if every single one of you want to succeed in a world where it's like 70 to 80% of all money is spent on e-commerce is spent on one site, and it ships to me in a day, or under a day sometimes, the only way to overcome that is to go above and beyond and tie into that why, that emotion, that bigger thing that jewelry is fucking perfect to do with, by the way. And it's the exact product to be able to do it. And that's why Shine-On's having success. And if you want to know the difference between the big sellers and the little sellers, it's just what I just described. Every site that I've had, Devin, correct me if I'm wrong, my bigger sites, the two ones that are running right now and the third that's not as big, what's the difference? 2 are mission-based, one's not. The one that I sold, mission-based. That's it. It taps into it. And you guys, the mission here is to create perfect, unbelievable moments that connect two people by a product. You're giving the words, most likely giving the words to a guy who's not really good at saying it himself and drawing an emotion and an emotional event. That's it. That's Hallmark, by the way. Right. So that, I just wanted to get that out of the way. These kinds of things, these surface level things, hit me up, man. I will, like we're dragging you through the mud here. So hit me up. I will, if you watch this, I will personally help you out and give you some personal direction, just because I feel like I'm dragging you a little bit. But I'm just saying that this is the kind of stuff we want to teach inside of Incubator, because it's so much easier. And instead of blaming Facebook ads for not working, when you have this kind of stuff, you can say, hey, look, it's actually my product that needs the work. And Facebook ads is just a vehicle to get people on my product. Your product is your site too, by the way. So that's all I got for you. So it's a little bit of a rant. Just wanted to get that out there.
No, it's good shit, dude. And I don't want that to discourage anyone, though, because people might think it's like, whoa, oh my God. So like I have to compete with Amazon. Oh, it's like all this work. You got to realize that most of your competition is like this. This page right here, this is what most of your competition is like. So it's really not, I mean, our mentor, Matt and I's mentor, Andy Frisella, says it all the time. It's like the bar is set so low. Like this is not the work right here. This is the bare minimum. This is like, no matter how much work they put into this, this is the bare minimum. If they didn't do this much, like then they weren't even trying at all, right? This is like, how can I try as little as possible and still sell, which is fine, you know? And I don't know what this person's goals are. And maybe, you know, their goal was just to make like $1,000 to pay some bills or something, right? But I don't want you guys to get discouraged. I think it's gonna be a lot of work, because like we'd mentioned, like most people aren't doing these things. So as long as you literally give it like a month or two of working on your brand, thinking of your values, what do you stand for? What do you do? Why do you align with these people? Why do you align with these products? What things do you like? If we just look here, what do you support? What is the mission here? At Paws, our mission is to raise money and awareness to save hundreds of thousands of shelter dogs who are killed in U.S. animal shelters every year. Thanks to customers just like you who've donated over 300,000. So like Matt here has been donating to dog shelters every year. I mean, before Paws too, you take proceeds from your business every year and you donate what to the VFW and then to shelters. Is that it?
Yeah, veterans and then and animal shelters have been Amanda and I's mission for
exactly
10 years, I think. Yeah.
So operating in these like places that you align with, like it doesn't, it's not crazy. But yeah, it's not crazy. Like doing this is not a ton of work. It's just building your products and brands and stuff with this in mind, and then just following through on your promise and being authentic to it, right? Like, boom. It's all it is, right? What is 10,000? Their whole thing is like hard work, right? So all their products are products that the name 10,000 is because it's supposed to last for 10,000 very difficult workouts. You're supposed to be able to work out in the products 10,000 times. But by the way, like I love these shorts, but I've not worked out in mine 10,000 times and they're falling apart a little bit. I think it's because I used I put the dryer on too hot though. It's like melting the rubber or something. Anyway, so I mean,
10,000 is like what? Like that's 10,000 years essentially working out every day or something.
So, anyways, guys, so there was a lot there. A few different things. I'm just going to get through this really quick, Matt, because I want to get into the ads because I'm going to have to hop on another call here soon. So I think like things that you guys could do on the website that I was picking up while Matt was talking was like, so how could, obviously the apology stuff is working here. And by the way, it's okay to have a store that is just apology necklaces. Like that is a massive 100%. Niche. It is massive. There are millions of customers in that niche, and there are new customers created every single day. And that is why it's a good niche to be in, right? So you can have a product that's just that, if that's like your jam. And then the kind of like symbolism and like images you'd want on your website, it's most always going to be men buying this product. It's like 99.99% of the time, it's going to be men buying this. So the imagery should paint an image of the scenario that happens when the man is forgiven, right? So you want images that would kind of tell the story to the man that like, yo, if you buy this, you're going to be forgiven. So it could be like a woman embracing a man and like all loving and stuff like that. Just like, you know, beer commercials, what do they do every time? It's just like people having fun. And what those beer commercials are saying is if you buy our product, you'll have fun. And what these necklaces, what the images here need to say is if you buy our product, your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, I don't know, will forgive you, right? Another note is there's a really good opportunity here. There's missed revenue. So you're selling multiple apology necklaces here. It looks like they're all the same, except they have different jewelry pieces. And then you have a men's edition too, which is interesting. I'd be curious if they sold any of these. My guess is no. But just one simple thing here is if there's no cross sells and you really, I think it would be a good idea to have the other variants, like the other jewelry pieces on this page somewhere, because someone might want to buy this, but they don't really resonate with this piece of jewelry. And although the message card is what gets the sale, the jewelry is what they have to wear every day. And since you already have other pieces of it, like someone might align with this piece more or something like that. So that's just an idea. I don't know if that would increase revenue or not, but it's definitely something that I would test on my end. But there's no reason to shop around on this website as it is currently. And one of the easiest ways to make your ads hyper profitable is by increasing your AOV. That's average order value, aka how much someone spends when they come to your store. And there's nothing on here that is trying to increase your AOV. And like AOV boosters, things like that, or things that get you more money, it's like can be the difference from wildly profitable and unprofitable. Like Matt, your AOV, like when you're selling shirts, is like 3 times the price of a single shirt. You know, you're not just getting one shirt sale. People are buying like, I don't know how many products on average, but somewhere around 3 products or whatever, right?
Yeah, somewhere in between there, depending on the day. Yeah, so it's 2.5 or so on average, I would say.
That. See, dude, I'm a genius. I can guess just off of math.
Yeah.
All right. So shall we get into the ad portion, good sir? I can pass it over to you.
Yep, let's do it.
Sweet. I think this is a killer episode. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We should, like, honestly, we could charge for this shit. It's really good. If you guys just pay attention to these, you will make a lot of money.
I'm going to say my other screen's got Andy yelling at me.
Are you excited for tomorrow, Arete Live?
Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna be great. I was just down at the registration. Should, dude. I'll be obviously taking a lot of notes though. So okay. I think I remember the product. The product said it had "I love you" on it, right? So okay. So we got our campaign up. We're just going to be building out the targeting for something like this. Obviously, you want to do purchase. This is a test account, so nothing is really set up. It's like I'm somehow not banned. I might be banned sometime from doing this because I'm like creating these ads on my personal account. Don't do that. Have a business account. That's a great way to test for stuff like this. So I like starting at $25 a day. Let's just roll through that. I would start that tomorrow. Now we get into the actual stuff. Now, the words on the card influence the targeting that we would have, right? So you can create the best apology phrase, but if it says "to my wife," "to my husband," "to my daughter," "to my husband," it obviously influences the targeting, right? But the other side of this is the words that you use inside the phrase itself. One of the words that is a big determination, or influencer, or whatever you want to call it, on the targeting is the phrase "I love you." If you use those words and you know your customer, you understand there's only a few types of relationships that use that, right? And one of the ones that is a big no-no in this scenario, and I backed it up with enough failed ads to probably make some people on here cry, that you don't do it in a relationship. In a relationship, there are some people who use that phrase, but those people quickly move into engaged and married, right? And you're trying to catch them in that window when the broad scope of it is people who don't use it and aren't engaged, especially the younger that you go. So what I would do here is obviously going towards women. So the men are going to be buying. And I would also do ourselves a 25 and above.
People under 25 just never buy, guys. It's just how it is.
Yeah. I mean, they might buy the 18 to the 18 to the 18 to 25-year-olds might buy 70-80% off, but they're never going to buy something again. That's for sure. So I would do engaged here. Engaged is a big one for the apology, obviously, because you're in the most, as any man on this call that's been married, you understand that that's a high pressure situation to be in. So for both parties, but you can get in some trouble too there, and they're in that engagement. So we're gonna do engaged and married. That's the relationship. We got 25 to 65 plus, engaged and married. People sleep on the older demographics as if they would never do stuff like that. I counter that with the data that I've seen from people who buy flowers, mostly being in the 60 plus range. That I've heard that several times. So this is somewhat of the same kind of thing, of the guy doesn't want to fool around. He knows his game. He knows he needs to say, I'm sorry. And he knows how to get it done. Boom, bought flowers, put it on the desk. I'm sorry, babe. And then they're cool. So don't sleep on the 60 plus, especially the 65 plus. So English.
Just a quick note in here. I just want to touch again on the beauty of these products. So we talked about this last week on the last episode too. And it's just like these types of products that are just so broad that you're targeting percentages of the population, as opposed to like these really niche like gadgets or widgets, like things you would drop ship, or like smaller POD interests such as rock climbing, right? Where it's just like a small percentage of people. Like, I just want to make sure everyone understands, if you watched last week and now this week, like the targeting, the Facebook ads, when you're doing products like this, just so easy. And then it puts more reliance on the product. It just removes one of those hurdles and makes it so much easier to get a product launched and making sales. So
yeah, 100%. You want it to be, so like 5-10 years ago, we had these precise interests. We wanted to go small. That's not Facebook's game anymore. That is the most true post the iOS update, where they don't have as much tracking anymore. So what you need to do is have a bigger pool of audience. That works in our favor, as Devin just said. It works in my apparel favor. It works in jewelry's favor, because it's easy to target 10 plus million, 20 plus million people and still be targeted. Where if you're selling some kind of widget that solves a small problem, it's really, really hard to be that precise and profitable at the same time. Facebook is an auction where you're constantly trying to win the auction through being engaging. But since it's an auction of like cost is sensitive, if the pool is smaller, the higher the cost, right? Right. So like if the pool is 200,000 people and we got a bunch of people fighting for that 200,000, there's only so many people on at any moment in time on any certain day. And you're all fighting for 200,000 people, where I'm swimming in 20 million, 26 million targeted people. I can pick the lowest cost person and I can win the auction because my product is awesome and the engagement is high. So if you're understanding that point, understand that there's no reason for me to go, all right, what's the interest that people who are in trouble are going to look for? That's not how it works. There's no, if you're targeting daughters or sons, you play the numbers. You say 50% of them are daughters, 50% of them are sons. I'm pretty damn good and pretty solid with 50-50 chances in my audience, because I know my ad's going to be good. It's going to steer me to one direction. With this, you're playing the numbers that millions of guys are in a state of probably in an argument with their significant other, and you can provide the solution to help bring a resolution to that, right? It's just the math. It's just how it is, right? So that's you have to operate in somewhat of it's not an assumption because it's the truth. So it's operating, knowing the landscape and the market that you're going into, and not overcomplicating it or putting some artificial constraint on yourself that just tracks your cost up through the roof. So cool. What do you got there? Oh, this is sponsored by...
I don't usually record ads on the show, but if I did, it would be for this delicious caffeine-free Coke Zero.
A little break. So we can go down to... we're U.S. only. For anybody that's brand new to this, the reason for it is 300 million of us, and we all have credit cards. And then you can leave language and better conversion rates. And it ships fast and so on and so forth. So
I will say though, it is okay to expand out, but focus on the US first.
focus on the US first, 100%. I sell international. I will tell you that some curveballs can happen internationally, especially this last 2 years. We're dealing with one right now that's pretty nasty. So if you don't know how to get into that stuff and you're just looking to get started, start in the US. It's smooth, it's easy, and your customers will be happy because it's getting to them. It's super fast. So, and that's a good reason, again, when you're playing in the Amazon's ballpark. So I'm just using your ad when you sent that to me, not the video itself. But now it'd be more of a.
I think too, that we would change the "she cried reading this." I just want everyone
yes,
to know that.
100%. I would change this to more of, something. I think I said something along the lines of like, tell her how truly sorry you are, or something like that.
Show her you're sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, show her how sorry you are, or like give her the words give her the words that she needs to hear is a good one that I've used before. Or tell her the words that she needs to hear. And it's pre-framing, right? You're pre-framing the mindset of them reading this. She cried reading this pre-frames it into any of those scenarios, like birthday. Is it a Mother's Day? Is it birthday? Is it whatever, right? So it's too broad. Right. And then you might get a person that clicks and not even pay attention to it. And then they're optimizing for the wrong people and you're not getting sales. So that's not good. So if you pre-frame it, you can lead the reaction and you can lead the engagement and everything like that from the ad. So that's a little advanced stuff. I'm simplifying as best as I can, but that's worked out extremely well for us. I'll just say that. So in the text here, we always do our CIC method. We have some caveats to that. Obviously, connect. Good Lord, I haven't been doing this for 7 years. Connect, incentivize, call to action. That last C is now right here. So we take that out. So connection wise, you can reiterate. I would say, the easiest stuff here, I'll just give you one that's worked for me in this space. Now is the perfect time to say I am sorry.
It's like the podcast
again
I did on Wednesday.
What's that?
I said that's like the title of the podcast I did on Wednesday. Now is the perfect time to start.
Yeah. So but why did Devin pick that, and why is this a good headline? Because you're giving a pre-frame into the action, right? Now is the perfect time to apologize, because in the mind of the person that I'm trying to sell to for this product, they know they need to apologize and they're probably delaying it. And so you are giving them the solution that they have back here in the back of their head, right? And that's the same thing with Devin. Like, he knows that people need to start. We know that people need to start, and to start right now. So it makes it a good podcast headline. So the incentive, if I note him, here's some more advanced stuff. The incentive, everybody always goes to 20% off, right? Like the site has 70% off. But knowing your customer is the easiest thing to pass over. Like that, the thing, like the understanding, I need to know my customer. You'd be like, yeah, but I don't really need to know. It's so much more worthwhile for you to spend your time on that versus trying to do the other stuff. Because if I was in the scenario, if I knew my customer and I knew what was important to my customer in this moment, my customer being a guy that's in a fight with his wife right now, he's in a fight. What's the important thing about this product that he needs to take into consideration is how fast am I going to get it? Because I need to say, I'm sorry now.
Pain.
I need to say I'm sorry now. I don't need to say I'm sorry 4 weeks when this shit gets over here from China. So I would say incentive wise, I would say ships fast from the USA.
And
that's all the incentive that you need.
I think Shinon even has like ship same day. If you get it before a certain time, it might be like if people order before 1 p.m. So
yeah,
possibly work that in there. But ships within 24 hours is pretty good too.
Yeah. Ships within, that's even better. Like, I don't know it off the top of my head, but like get Shinon's average turn and say that if it ships in 24 hours or like same day shipping available, That's the incentive though, that kind of person cares about, because they're trying to solve the solution now, and you are trying to be the solution for it right now. And if you take that in consideration, that is the best way to incentivize anybody. Price sensitive people, and this is stuff we're getting deeper into right now. And this is what there's a whole big conversation going on this, but understanding who cares about what can up your conversion rates, make your ads feel perform so much better simply by just slight alterations. And I would back this up too, by the way, anybody in the apology niche, we didn't read the product description, but backing this up in the product description, saying how fast it ships, making sure it's damn clear that it's getting there soon, probably make this thing go through the roof. Because they don't care about the price. I'm not worried about 70% off if I'm trying to salvage a relationship. That's the last thing on my mind. What I'm caring about is doing that right now. And if you can provide me a solution where it ships for free, and I know I can get this in like a couple of days, that's the key. That's all I care about. So, yeah.
Sorry. I'm thinking about.
No, you're good.
She cried reading this thing. And I think that if people could somehow get them to understand it's an apology necklace before the she cried reading this, I think the she cried reading this could be really powerful. But you still, like right now, it's going to be the first thing people read.
Yep.
If people can find a way to make it like the second or third thing people read on this ad, I actually think it's really good. So maybe like the little description area could be good. I think in the description in the ad, they were using it for, it says fast shipping from Florida. Yeah, that should have been in the body of the ad, and then she'll cry reading this in the description could be really good.
So 100% I agree with you. What we do in the headline, and we talked about this in the last call, is a reiteration of what the product's title is, because I have worked this out over a lot of data that is what people end up searching for on Google or on your site. So if they find your way back to that site and they want to find that product that they saw, that the fastest way to do it is the title, which is why we don't want your title to be spammy, almost gone, random number, all that kind of shit in it. I want it to be the title of your product. What's that?
The number was weird.
I think it's like, I don't know if that's like he's pushing it to Etsy. I think Etsy sometimes does that or whatever, but like clean it up, like make it look nice. Remember, a core concept of this is that you guys should have, it should be $100 worth of stuff that they're able to buy for, $60 or something like that, right? If you're making them feel like they're getting so much value out of this, then you have a good product. It's not going to feel that way though if like it's, what's this random number? Oh, it's almost gone. Oh, it's 50% off. Oh, it's 70% off. Actually, if I use this coupon, it's 95, or I don't, like, where does it go? I don't know. Like, so that's not going to be the thing that they remember. So, yeah, I mean, like you could rearrange this a couple of different ways. This could be the thing that says now is the perfect time to say I'm sorry. That's a little much, but what they're going to see, remember, it goes image or video, description, headline, and then so product description or ad copy. I'm sorry. Primary text is what they changed the name to.
I get
so image
by that from time to time.
I'm like image, primary text.
Where is it?
Headline, description is the order, the hierarchy of, based off of big data things that I've seen of how people look at this. Obviously, the image is the first thing they see. She cried reading this is part of that image. In this case, that's probably going to be the first thing they see and read because it's bigger.
You're sorry. Like tell her you're sorry. That's like
tell her you're sorry. Pull the Band-Aid, man. Yeah.
Emojis work well when you do images like that too. Emojis work really well in it.
100%.
Keep in mind. And
so,
sorry.
No, oh, sorry. Yeah, we're struggling over here. No, we're working on it. The
Zoom delay.
Yeah, try it. It's pretty tough. So, I think the moral of the story is you have a great product. I'm gonna put this bow and I'm gonna say, hey, look, you did a really good job. It only went viral because it's a good product. And you might, on the other side of this, have a product that's done pretty good too. And you're wondering, man, the engagement was really good, but maybe the sales weren't that good. It might be stuff like this. It might be the stuff. It probably is the stuff on the site that we talked about. Your site is super important. Conversion rate optimization is extremely important, and it's underappreciated for sure in this space. But putting your effort in to go beyond box checking, beyond the template that maybe Shine On or Gearbub will give you, and putting some emotion into it, and putting some effort into it, because you're expecting people to give the give the money and the trust that took them time and effort to acquire. You're expecting that from other people, but are you giving that in return first? Because it has to come first from you in order to get it from anybody else. And it actually, like I said, you should do it for $100 worth of stuff to give 60, right? Like you can do it with this kind of stuff, like changing this product up, how we said, would make this product value so much better. You wouldn't have to discount it, fake or extra. And then people would buy it all the same, and you make a lot more money. So that's all I got for you. I hope you pay attention. I hope you're going to end up watching this thing, and you can reach out anytime.
If you know the owner of this store, hit him up.
Yeah. If and let me know. And I hope you can turn this around, turn this thing into a brand, because you obviously have the skills necessary to create the product.
Hell yeah. All right. I got some quick parting words for you guys. One thing I did want to point out to everyone watching, that is, if you're going to put your products on Etsy, something you should know is that Etsy is mostly a female website. So products like this typically would not do too well on it. I believe the stats are like 85% of people who shop on Etsy are females. So just keep that in mind. You can definitely sell products like this on there, but if your goal is like you want to make a lot of sales from Etsy, since it's mostly women, you want to sell things that women would buy, and women, like we had mentioned already, probably aren't buying this. Now, if you guys enjoy this and you want to join the Product of the Week Club, I've got great news, because it's free. Let's go. At least for now. We might, honestly, after seeing how valuable this is, it might be something that I decide we want to charge for in the future. And I think people would happily pay for it, because literally, like, if you follow what we say in these videos, you could make hundreds of thousands of dollars. These are the keys to the castle. Like, Matt is making millions of dollars doing this, tens of millions of dollars doing this. This is the whole thought process. What you see here is the thought process. And so make sure below this video, enter your name, email, and phone number to subscribe. Another thing is, if you want us to do this with you on your brand, like you want us to personally help you scale your brand to 6 figures, we have a program. It's called the Incubator Program. We'll work with you for a year. It is extremely affordable for something that lasts for a year. Yeah, definitely. If that's something you're interested in, you want to scale up your store, you want to do it quickly, you want to make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars profit like we do, and you want to work with us, go to skup.net/call. That's skup.net/call. Book a call with our team, and we'll see if it's a good fit. Free to book a call. Program's obviously not free, but trust me, it's very cheap for what you get. So that's it, guys. Thanks for joining us this week on the Product of the Week Club. Matt, any parting words for our lovely viewers?
No, I think if I wanted to put a summary, cliff notes on this day is take the effort to do the right thing, the tough things, the brand building aspects of it. It's the same effort as all the other aspects. I think that's a glaring, perfect example of don't do this tricky stuff. Focus on this and watch how your customers return the favor by buying from you, and they trust you and they come back. And it's the same effort, but one's going to be short term and one's going to be long term. And I think most of you want to do this long term, especially if you made it through how long are we talking? An hour, something like that.
Over an hour.
Yeah. So make the right choice now, and it'll pay off exponentially in the future. Trust me, it's going to be doing that all the time for me. So,
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to work with us, skup.net/call. Subscribe to the Product of the Week Club as well. And have a good one, everyone. Peace. See you next Monday.
See ya.